I lost that challenge over a freaking eyeball.
Yeah, over an eyeball. An eyeball.
That means people went through our
Mhm.
drawings, picked them apart, and the majority of people chose yours because of something to do
It's
with the
about the
eyeball. The
proportions,
proportion of the eyeball.
It's about the proportions.
Welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13. I'm Adam,
And I'm Jordan.
and we're here to talk about kind of last week's art challenge, really the week before, because we kind of
Right.
went on a hiatus of Christmas break, and my father got home from the hospital finally from his
Yeah.
major surgery. So,
Doing awesome.
yep. So there was a lot of stuff that kind of went into him being able to come home, and I had to build a lot of things that made it easier for him to come home. And Jordan was very understanding of needing to take the break because there was just too much going on. I mean, with Christmas and trying to get Christmas bought, or finish up,
Right.
the last
Right.
minute Christmas shopping,
And
and then
if we would have had a challenge last week, I highly doubt I would have gotten it done. With how busy that week was for me. I did not hardly have any time.
You went Saturday, Sunday, was it Monday or Tuesday? Monday.
Yeah.
It wasn't until last night that you all actually had a day that you weren't
Right.
traveling.
Right.
So where,
Yeah.
like you said, where do you
Find the time to sit
would
down
you?
and dedicate a few hours to something,
Right. Now,
and
with
still keep your mind straight throughout the rest of the week.
right. And with that being said, we've talked about, don't make excuses, just find the time to do it.
Right. But we also have to be realistic.
Yes. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're constantly on, don't make excuses. You committed to something, so just do it.
Yep.
But at the same time, you have to be realistic. Just simply because give me 1 second here.
We have some
New toys.
pretty awesome new equipment
Yeah.
that we're pretty stoked about.
Just getting used to it, but like I said, you have to be, and like Jordan said, you have to be realistic about those expectations as well. There are going to be times when we're just not going to be able to post anything. There's going to be times when we're vacations or whatever get in the way of being able to do this. The key factor is that we don't lose your all's interest and you all keep coming back week after week after week. Something I would like to do though in the future is have enough content that in off weeks we can still post something. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have a challenge to vote on, but at least you all still get to see some artwork that we've done.
Yeah, definitely. I'm, going out of the country in March for about a week, and you got vacation planned when April. So March and April, we're really going to have to fiddle with some of that and find out what we're going to do whenever.
Well, yeah, you got March and April that we got to fiddle around with. We have June.
Mm-hmm.
That first weekend of June, hopefully you get to come down and watch me.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to have the support. But, first week of June, I compete in the truck driving championship. And if everything goes the way I want it to go, then sometime in August, I'm going to be out in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
for a whole week,
and that's going to be pretty sick. All you got to do is beat one more person than you did last year, and then you got it.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Last year I was just, first place loser?
First place loser. You were the first runner-up, second place. You got a huge trophy for it, though. That thing is...
Yeah.
Yeah, super big.
Have that happen a lot, first place loser.
Yeah. I think that I will be the first place loser on this challenge today. It is currently up for vote, and Adam is taking 100% the lead so far.
Am I really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even look
you are.
at it.
So far, it's only been up for just a couple minutes, only 2 votes. But yeah.
That's cool.
I'm still very... Oh, yeah. With our recap. So, well, it's now been 3 weeks ago. We had our cardinal bird challenge, and that was done in graphite pencil, black and white color palette, obviously. and Realism.
Yeah, I
And
was a little bit shocked.
we talked about this before throughout the week. There were I still can't remember what challenge it was that this happened on. I want to say the Freddy Krueger one, maybe. I can't remember. But I was thinking like, oh man, I got this one in the bag. I have it. And then I remember like just quietly, I really kept that to myself. I definitely had some overconfidence there. And I saw the votes happening and I was like, how? And honestly, like it was a humbling experience, like just
Hey,
because you think something looks good doesn't mean that the 70 people voting on our stuff is going to think that it looks good either.
dude, you're not freaking joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she just put it the best. It's a very
Mhm.
humbling experience because I'm not gonna lie. I went into the Cardinal Challenge like when I was doing. I'm like, dude, I got this in the
I
bag.
thought that you did too.
Well, that's what's crazy is
Mhm.
that you even thought that I did. You're like, dude, there's no way.
Right. At the end of the day, though, it is technical. You know what I mean?
It is.
People look at those parameters and they check their boxes.
Well, and that's just it. And it's odd that I don't want to say this and be rude about it,
Mhm.
but and I don't think I will be because everybody understands art. Even if
Yeah.
you don't think that they understand art, they have an appreciation for it. And
Right. Right.
that's what's crazy is that, I don't want to call everybody just normal or anything like
Mhm.
that, but everybody has an appreciation for art and it's amazing at how many people actually agree
Yeah. Yeah.
because I got to feeling and Jordan kind of solidified it this evening. I lost that challenge over a freaking eyeball.
Yeah. Over an eyeball. An eyeball.
That means people went through our
Mhm.
drawings, picked them apart, and the majority of people chose yours because of uh something to do
It's
with the
about the
eyeball, the
proportions.
proportion of the eyeball.
It's about the proportions. Um, you know, uh I think that overall your drawing was a lot more pleasing to look at. I think that it was just overall a lot prettier. I think you really nailed your background. I think that the snow and the berries really look awesome and incredible. But at the end of the day, that challenge was a cardinal. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just comes down to the proportions and I still am just shocked
Yeah.
that
You
that
took
happened.
what was the vote percentage? It was
The vote percentage was I got 70, you got 30.
okay,
So,
so
and
70% of the
that's what
vote.
I've liked seeing throughout this process too is that, we're getting pretty close on these, you
We
know?
are. We
Yeah.
are. And you'll know when people really don't like one over the other because it gets very lopsided.
Yeah.
But for the most
Yeah.
part, we're
Right.
we're staying
Right.
pretty even.
Yeah, like 60-40
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
then
honestly, we're not usually 70-30 anymore these days.
no,
It
no,
it gets pretty close.
that's what shocked me about it is I
Mhm.
was sitting there watching it. I watched it all the way up till like I don't know midnight, and I was
Yeah.
just like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah. I think that this week we're going to definitely see a big jump between the two of us because your drawing is so much better than mine.
Uh,
Currently, you're sitting at 75, I'm at 25.
yeah, but Jordan, I mean, my goodness, that's what we said last week. Well,
Yeah, that's
3 weeks
fair.
ago. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah, and I really love that we always get the comments of this is a hard one, both are so good.
Yeah.
Those are good to have. Yeah,
What's the other one say? A full holiday photo that makes you feel
the
is it?
season, the
Ah, yes.
season.
Well, that's the whole
Yeah.
idea. That was and uh, I had brought up this idea to Jordan a while back because the Christmas truck. Well, we're gonna. I guess are we done
I
with
guess we
our?
already talked about. Oh wait, we're on this one now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So our new challenge this we started it 2 weeks ago. And we both pretty much had the week to work on it. I did mine in the first week, had a super busy week.
Yep.
You did yours in the second week
Yep.
cuz your first week was a super busy week.
Yeah.
But our parameters were a classic red truck with a Christmas tree in the back. And we decided, we're going Christmassy style. We're not gonna roll for our style. Realism, kind of do a little bit what you want, a little Christmas gift to us.
Right.
And we did roll for medium.
I
We
did.
rolled mixed media, alcohol markers, and charcoal.
Well, I mean, I goofed.
Yeah.
Um, Adam has a problem with being able to tell what the difference is between a 6 and a 9 on the dice. So I picked up the dice, and that was part of the reason why Jordan didn't post
The video,
the
the short
video,
for it.
the short for it, because I well, one, like I said, I screwed up the dice roll. It was actually a 6, not a 9, but I said it was a 9. Um, we went into it. It was later that night. Jordan's like, "You goofball." She sent me a message. She's
Yeah.
like, "It was actually a 6, not a 9." And I'm like,
I think I
"Okay,
said,
so
Adam, you mofo.
yeah, so what do we do now?" And she's like, "We're just going with it.
We're
Just do
just going with
alcohol
it.
marker."
Yeah.
So I was pretty pleased with it because I really
Yeah,
like,
you wanted to do alcohol marker.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really like working with alcohol
It's kind of
markers.
strange. Before the video, Adam did say he wanted to do alcohol markers.
I did. I
Hmm.
did. Guess what?
Hmm. It
I'm
worked
going to
out.
throw this loosely out into the universe,
Uh-huh.
very loosely. I have won every alcohol marker challenge.
Yeah, you have. Adam is definitely good at them.
Um, but aside from the medium, something I've always wanted to do was uh very Christmas related. Um, one of my favorite times of year. So, I'm down for anything Christmas, but man, my
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite things is just the 50s Christmas truck. I mean, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I just I've when it started hitting the market, it was like, man, this is freaking cool.
Yeah. And it is like very national for USA Christmas as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it is, in other countries and stuff, if it's like a universal thing, but I mean, God bless
Yeah.
USA. Is that a little white twat carrying a Christmas tree?
That's right. But yeah, so Jordan was kind enough to accept that proposal of doing the Christmas truck. Um, and like she said, we just kind of left it open to interpretation of how
Yeah.
we wanted to, the scenery that we wanted around it, and um, yeah, so it was cool. Um,
Yeah.
I
It's pretty sick.
thoroughly I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I really did.
Yeah. Let's go into the design phase,
Yeah, because
or I
there's
guess
really,
research. Did you do any research?
I mean, I did to an extent, but I think it
Yeah.
was really more about just trying to find inspiration.
Yeah.
Because off the bat, I knew I wanted a barn. I knew I wanted a house. Um, I knew that I wanted. Obviously, we had to have the truck.
Right.
I knew I wanted the lamp post out front.
The lamppost out front is what I think really is significant about yours.
Um,
I really like that.
and I wanted some wreaths. Whether it was 1, 3,
Mhm.
10, I knew I wanted some wreaths. So, really research wise, mine was just more so about finding uh inspiration in the things that I kind of wanted,
Yeah.
um, or that I knew I wanted. What about you?
So design for me,
Well, research.
oh yeah, research,
Research.
research for me, was mainly just, focusing on the truck, finding different inspiration through photos and stuff like that. Um, really not a whole lot of research, just, for design, so I'll kind of lead us into our design phase. I wanted something very I don't know. I wanted it to look kind of like a greeting card, you know?
Hmm.
A little bit of a classic Christmas card that you'd get in the mail and you're happy about it. Um so I really kind of struggled with like how to do the red truck and the Christmas tree. I saw a lot of reference photos with barns and like on a road, or this is, Farmington's tree farm and stuff like that.
Right.
Um But, you know, one thing I thought of also is the route between your house and my house, they have that decoration out there that is the red vehicle with the Christmas tree in the back, and I did think
Is
about
that
that
just
quite often.
is that just like right down the road here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually my buddy's mother-in-law's house.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I
Yeah.
thought about them. I thought about them. And I kind of like that roadside decoration look. You know what I mean? So I kind of took some inspo from that as well. And so with mine, I wanted it to say Merry Christmas, but I didn't want, you know, some like banner across the top saying Merry Christmas or anything like that. So I just decided that I was going to do a wooden post sign that says Merry Christmas and turn it into a snowy, wintry scene of just like a roadside, little here's a Merry Christmas with a red Christmas truck and a red Christmas tree, and here's Merry Christmas. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
I think
Yeah.
it's beautiful drawing. I really do. I mean, I know you were not the biggest fan of it, and we'll get
I
into that, but I
yeah, we'll get
think
into that.
I think, overall, compositionally, it's great.
Thank you.
I
It's
think you used great space and really captured a moment.
Thanks. Now, capturing a moment, I think, is what you really established in yours. Let's talk about your design phase.
Yeah,
Because you knew what you wanted to do off the rip.
I did. And I wasted no time doing it. I
Yeah.
mean, I was a little overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie, because when you start thinking about, okay, you're gonna put a house in there, you're gonna put a
Mm-hmm.
barn in there, you have to put something in the background.
Man, I would have been overwhelmed too. Yeah, looking
Um,
at it here. Yeah.
you got the lamp post up front,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have obviously the centerpiece of the whole thing, the truck.
Right.
And it just it like I said, it kind of become overwhelming in a sense because it's like you got a lot of stuff that you're trying to pack into a 7 by 10 area
Mm-hmm.
and make it look natural.
That's a good way to put it because it does look natural. In this specific photo right here, I feel like I am out looking for Christmas decorations or Christmas lights, or I'm going to somewhere specifically for Christmas.
Well,
And I'm going to pull up here, and this is what I see whenever I pull up, type
right,
of deal. You know what I
right.
mean?
And I was gonna
Yeah.
get into that with my artist statement a little bit later.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like I said, it just kind of become a little bit overwhelming. And then, once I kind of loosely sketched in the house and I knew kind of where I wanted the barn and where I wanted the light post,
Mm-hmm.
it was really just, it all just kind of fell together. And, working with alcohol markers, it's not like it's not like you're not sketching this entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're, well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get a rough outline of where I want stuff and then I go in with the alcohol markers.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, because there's
It
no purpose of sitting there and spending all this time drawing something in graphite pencil only to turn around and cover it up with
yeah.
alcohol markers.
It really is very similar, I feel like, working with watercolor. You
I
know?
agree. I agree
Yeah.
100%. Um, you know, uh, but yeah, design phase, I knew what I wanted. It was just getting the correct placement so that it all felt natural.
Yeah.
I mean, that was,
What'd you name yours?
oh, what was it? Picturesque. A picturesque Christmas. My picturesque Christmas.
It's beautiful.
Just because, well, I mean, that's the title. So, my picturesque Christmas, that's like, to me, um, that's what I see as the
Yeah.
perfect Christmas.
One thing that I do like about yours as well with your design is it feels warm. I also feel like I'm gonna go inside that house, sit down in front of a
I
fireplace, have a cup of cocoa, and open my Christmas gifts.
Right? I
Yeah.
Yeah. Title on yours, and then we'll jump into artist statements.
Mine is my hidden holiday haul because
Oh,
it's hauling the Christmas tree, and it's just a roadside. Look at that, just a roadside hidden gem.
well, it looks like, okay, you want to talk about feeling
Uh huh.
with mine. The feeling I get from yours is this is a truck that you and Bree have brought back from the
Yeah.
dead,
Right.
more or less.
Right.
You've restored it to its original capacity.
Mm-hmm.
and y'all are going to the Christmas tree farm to buy your Christmas tree,
Mhm.
and that's where you're at, is at the tree farm.
Really? You get that vibe?
That's the vibe I get from it.
Huh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that's a straight up Clark Griswold freaking vibe right there now,
Well, that's sweet. That's very nice of you to say.
you know?
I I do like the trees. I kind of wish that I would have done more trees, but we'll get into that later, of course.
Do you have
Um,
a artist statement?
um, no, not really. I don't think that I have an artist statement. I
Really?
just it's just my hidden haul, you know? It
Um,
is my hidden holiday haul, and it's just a little inviting hidden gem area that, you can drive across and see, oh, look at that.
yeah,
Merry Christmas.
pull mine up. I'll give you an artist statement.
Yeah,
Not
right there.
really an artist statement. I mean, I guess it could be. You know, I wanted to capture a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
because to me, Christmas is all about a feeling. Like it's a single season that carries so much feeling with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Oftentimes people associate it as a just a time for giving, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I wanted to create something that I felt like you would actually see. You know,
Yeah.
this is not something that's just made up in some reality. You would actually see this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know.
This is the family that loves Christmas so much, and they drive the truck out, They yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna be buying me one of these trucks one day.
and throw it out in the front lawn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I really love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful image, and I love how warm and inviting it is, even with so much white,
Well,
you know?
and see, that was the thing. I had originally mentioned to Jordan, I said, why don't we do a play on Thomas Kincaid? And Jordan was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So I knew within mine I wanted to try to
Mhm.
play around with the warmth of light.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted there to not be too much light, but I wanted there to be enough light that you felt the warmth off of it.
Mhm.
Like you said, you feel like you could just go into the house,
I do.
sit down next to a fire,
Yeah.
aside from the fact that there was no fireplace, no chimney, no smoke.
That's true. There's no chimney, there's no smoke, there's nothing, but you know.
There's a reason for that
Yeah.
because I was not going to try to attempt smoke again.
Yeah. You're right.
So
Yeah.
I opted to leave the chimney out. Um, but like you said, you feel like you could just walk into that
Yep.
and
And
it's
it
going to be
feels
warm,
like a
cozy.
home. It
Exactly. It
feels
feels
like a
like a
home.
home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to capture with mine.
It's
And
beautiful.
I just, something I always loved, and you were generous enough to let us do it.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, of course. It's cool. It's really cool. Let's talk about likes.
Likes, oh my gosh, you start,
All right.
because I know you struggle.
So
No, no, I mean like you struggle with your drawing.
yeah. Well, I did one thing that I do like is I have redeemed myself, I feel, from the last vehicle challenge that we did, which was the
Dodge
Dodge
Challenger,
The
yeah.
Hellcat, right. And we did that one in Surrealism, warm color palette, so red again on the vehicle, and man, did I struggle with that thing so much. I just felt like my proportions were all off. I could not get it down on how to use the stupid alcohol markers on that vehicle, and I was on the struggle bus from day one with that drawing. Well, actually, not even day one. My sketch on that drawing was beautiful. My sketch was beautiful. And then I started coloring it. No, hated it. This one, I do enjoy my truck. I think that the color that I have on there redeems the color that I had on my last vehicle. And it turned out, it turned out. Um, a dislike that I have about it is on my vehicle specifically here are my mirrors. I did struggle with mirrors. One thing that Adam can do that I still have no idea how he gets it. I think I maybe accomplished it just a tiny bit in the chrome of my tires, but Adam is able to make metal look like metal with these alcohol markers, and it is a wicked talent that Adam has. Um Another like that I have here is a little Easter egg, if you will, in mine. I put PN13 for two little kind of license plate things up at the front of the truck. I thought that was pretty neat. Another like that I have is my sign. I really like the wooden feel of it. You know, it feels like that's a wooden sign. And I like a wooden sign that says Merry
I
Christmas.
agree.
Yeah. But I think that overall, one of my favorite things about my drawing is I love that it's snowing and it feels like it's snowing. But I really love my trees.
Dude, your trees
I
are
don't know
amazing.
how I figured out how to kind of nail those, but I love the trees. I just, kind of just made a random fluffness with the alcohol markers, and I went over with a white charcoal and a jelly roll on top of those trees to make snow.
Did you use an extra piece of paper? Like, did you do everything on the extra piece of paper before you did it on your drawing?
I did one time.
Really?
One time.
Dude, I
Yeah.
was every
And then I just went ham on it with the trees after that.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, your trees are amazing.
So the first tree that I did was the one, if you're looking at the photo, the one that's all the way to the right.
Okay.
And that is totally not how it looked like at first. At first, it was very skinny, very awkward. And I was like, okay, I've got to fix this. And so that's actually whenever I went in on the paper, tried a different thing. And I was like, bam, that is it. That looks cool. I really love that. And I was so nervous to do the Christmas tree in the back of the truck. But I think that tree turned out best out of all of them, you know? And I just used multiple different colors of green and kind of flared out the pieces. I never drew the middle part of any of these trees. I never drew the trunk of any of these trees. I just flared out branches. That's it. And it worked out. It reads very well as a Christmas tree, as cedar trees without adding, too much in there with detail using the alcohol markers. Another thing that I really feel like I nailed is my mistletoe that I put on the sign. I like the
Agreed.
mistletoe.
Yeah. No, I
It's
totally agree.
cute. But yeah, man,
I
those are my likes.
I love your trees. I don't know how you did it. I mean, you showed me how you did it, obviously here. I'm not gonna lie. You did yours a week before mine. I was in your text message looking at that, trying to figure that out. I'm like,
That's
how
cool.
did she get these freaking trees to look like this? And I mean, I just never could get it. I
Yeah, just
mean,
kind of
I pulled it off.
scattering,
I pulled it
those
off in the
colors.
yeah, I pulled it off in the cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I felt like I got
Yeah.
the snow on the branches right, but in this particular situation, I don't feel like I got the trees quite the way. But I will tell you this, the one thing that I love about yours
Mm-hmm.
is I love the shadows and the definition of the snow.
I will say that I do like that about mine as well. I do. And
I mean, if you look back over there on the right, underneath those trees, just that
mhm.
little bit of shadow underneath the tree on on the snow. I mean, just that's perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually thought a lot of Bob Ross whenever I was doing it and how he does his shadows whenever he's painting. I like that. I tried to I wanted it to show like distance, you
Well,
know.
it's funny that you say that. It's funny that you brought that up
Mhm.
about Bob Ross and how you were trying to reflect painting.
Mhm.
That's the one thing I noticed about this time working with alcohol markers was I looked at it more of a painting
Yeah.
rather than a
Yeah.
marker.
That's why I mentioned it's kind of felt like I was working with alcohol markers, and before I was working with watercolors, and
Right.
before I had never used that colorless blender. I used it on everything this time.
It's a game changer.
It is a game changer. Um, I have a major dislike about it though. Huge dislike about it,
What's that?
and it made my corners bleed underneath my tape.
So
So don't use it on the corners because it bleeds like crazy.
yes, you have to stay
Yeah.
off the edges.
Yeah, I had no idea. And then I
So
take my tape off and I'm like, oh.
whatever you do on a blender, even the markers themselves, you
Mm-hmm.
have to it's like you get one opportunity to go over that edge and then you
Mm-hmm.
have to get away from it because if you don't, it's going to bleed under the tape.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not like that.
Yep.
But to, try to fix that, since this was a charcoal challenge as well, I ended up brushing some charcoal powder around the outside, which does a somewhat decent job at hiding that top right corner and the top left corner.
Honestly, I would have never noticed it till you pointed it out.
That's true, and it does kind of have that, what's the word? Vinjini feel to it
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm not going to try to butcher it. Not on here. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. So those are my likes. I really there are quite a few things that I like about it. Oh, the snow, also mentioning that. So the first part of this that I did was the snow under the truck. Before coloring the truck, before anything.
Really?
Yeah, I did the snow first because I knew that it was going to take some layers and I did not want to shade it in black and white. I
Okay.
wanted it to show that reflection because it's kind of silly, but snow is at the end of the day water, and
Right, right.
I it's if you just do it in black and white, like you kind of I feel like it loses a little bit of character. Um so it was kind of all blue at first, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, my truck is sitting in water." But I went back over all of that with white charcoal and faded it out and then added, just more darker, deeper blue shadows beneath the truck, and I think it ended up reading really well. Um Another thing that I could say that I like also is that you can tell that this truck is there and it's not going anywhere.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Now, your snow on your fenders, your snow on your hood, your snow on your roof, is that
Right.
negative space or is that
That is
jelly
negative
roll?
space and white charcoal and a little bit of jelly roll on the top just to
Okay.
give it an extra,
Yeah,
boom.
right.
Yeah.
Um, Also, what did you do to highlight your spots on your truck? Like if you look around the door, you look around,
Oh,
the
yeah.
hood. How did you come up with that highlight?
So with those highlights, what I did this time, which is what I didn't do on the car, is I wish I could remember the name of all the colors that I used.
Hmm.
I'll say a minimum of 5,
Okay.
okay? Different shades of red.
Right.
Even orange
Okay.
is in here. And I laid down, my lightest first and then kind of just followed like curves and corners of the details of the truck. You can really see it on the fenders here where that darkness is.
Yep.
Um, and I just left that lighter portion where there would be a glare, stuff like that, lighter, and then I would take the colorless blender and just kind of fade those into each other. And then on top of all that as well, just taking a little bit of white charcoal and just drawing that out, just making that pop a little bit more.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I asked that question
Mhm.
when we get over to mine.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get over
Are
to
you
yours.
done with your
Yeah.
likes?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's likes are all done here. Let's get over to your likes. Everything. It's beautiful.
Sorry, we got a dog in the background that knows my wife is done working, so he's knows it's time to go out. So apologies for that. But so my likes on mine are Jordan's not wrong. Everything. I love it. She gave me a huge compliment earlier. She felt like this was the best thing I've done to this point.
Mhm.
It's her personal favorite. Let
Yeah.
me put it
My
that
personal
way.
favorite. I would pay money for this.
Um, However, with that being said, there's not much I don't like about it. I love the background, the trees, the way that, it appears like they're off in the distance. Like there's a group of them that's off in the distance and there's a group of them that's, more centered and more forward. Um, there's the lamp. I did the lamp very first.
The lamp is beautiful. I think that's what really captivates this image.
Yeah, I did it first and then I went to the house. Um, there's a few issues with the house that I really don't care for, but I mean, they're small, they're minuscule. Uh, and then I went over to the barn. I absolutely love the way the front of the barn turned out. It was probably the one thing I was most concerned about because I did not want the barn to be the same color as the truck. I
Mhm.
wanted them to be close, but I did not want them to be the same
That's a
color.
good point. And it is further in the distance, so it is going to have that darker feel to it.
Right.
Good technical decision.
Um, I did I also wanted there to be able I wanted you to be able to sense the feel of the wood grain within
Mhm.
the panels on the barn. Um, and I knew I wanted trees. I knew I wanted wreaths. The wreaths were kind of cool. I was really concerned about them, but I just went in there with an olive green and then a dark green, and then took my charcoal pencil and really punched into darker areas just to give it depth and definition. And then I threw in some you can call them yellow lights, you could call them jingle bells. I mean, they're just yellow circles more or less,
Mhm.
and threw on some red circles, and um it was just I just really liked everything. Um I wanted also to the feeling of not that the truck was in motion, but the truck has been driving.
It's been driven to that point that it's in right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
You nailed that.
yeah. Uh I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to do that very well, and I wasn't quite sure what color to go with it.
Mhm.
I just grabbed a blue, and I'm like drawing a few lines, and I'm like, and the more I did it, the better it started looking. So
Yeah.
I was pretty pleased with the way that turned out. But um, as far as see, it's what 66 to 34,
Yeah.
so it's catching up. I mean, you just never know. I
Yep.
mean, you really don't. It's going to be a close one.
I think so.
Um, like you said, the metal on the truck. I for some reason I can really,
You
I
can nail
just
that chrome vibe, Adam. You
yeah,
can nail it.
and I know that people out there can do it much better than what I can, but
I I tried really hard to get it on my what's that part of the tire called?
oh, on the center cap,
Yeah, on the center cap.
on the
And
hubcap,
I think on the hubcap, I
I
got
think you
it.
did a great job. There's
On the other
nothing.
chrome pieces, no.
I think you did a
No.
fine job. You're getting better.
Yeah,
You
getting
know
better.
that's a good way to put it. You're getting better.
Yeah, it's
You
there.
know,
It's improving.
I didn't think your Dodge Hellcat was bad at all,
It was
but
terrible.
this is a vast improvement from that.
Thank you.
I mean, it's and that's the thing about this whole process is it's not whether you can do it well in the beginning, it's whether
Mhm.
you can do it well a year from now.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and improve
Because
from it.
the idea is to improve consistently over time.
Right.
Um, and I love doing vehicles, guys. I mean, I really do. There's something fascinating about being able to do them, and the thing about vehicles is it's the small details.
Yeah.
It's the small details that you want to try to capture.
What
That's what
I
sells it.
think, okay, so your lamp is good. Your lamp is amazing in
Mhm.
your drawing, okay? I think my favorite thing about this is the shadow underneath your handle, your door handle. That thing, that little shadow makes this whole drawing.
Aside from all the detail that's inside the truck that you can see through the windows,
Mhm.
she
No.
picks out the shadow on the door handle,
That
which
shadow on the door
I loved
handle.
it. It was amazing when I did it. I was like, "Mm, yes, that's perfect."
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Um, so I like playing around with metal. I felt like, I did the mirror on the driver's side, and I was like, I was so tired of messing with the mirror that I just left it
Mhm.
off on the passenger side.
I did the same thing on
I
mine.
was
Did
like,
you
no,
notice?
I'm done. I'm done. Plus, I had already had all that done in there.
Yeah,
And I was like, there's no way I can get a mirror in there.
I did the same thing on mine.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
Yeah, look at
talk about artist choices, right?
that.
Um, Gosh, the presents, I wanted the presents down there, but I will be honest with you, when I did them, I was like, this is the hardest thing I've accomplished.
Really?
Try to draw a bow on top of a gift.
Oh,
Like straight up, try to
yeah.
draw a bow on top of a gift. Like I started trying and I'm like, this is not happening. So if you
Right.
look at any one of those presents, there is not a bow on top of it. And there is a reason for that.
Yeah. The bow and your wreaths are really, really
It's
good.
so much easier to do,
Yeah.
you
Um,
know? And I will tell you this.
mhm.
Um, well, okay, so I don't want to get to that point just yet because I feel like that's part of our medium challenges.
Uh-huh.
But the wreaths, I love doing the wreaths, but I'll tell you what I really like playing around with
Mhm.
was lighting.
Yeah.
I thought that was very, very cool. Because there's a very specific way, and that's what I was getting at was about doing things on separate pieces of paper.
Mhm.
I did all my lighting on another piece of paper before I even attempted to do it on here because I wanted that glow. I wanted that feel of warmth
Yeah.
from the light.
Yeah.
And I feel like I feel like it's kind of well, my wife said it felt Thomas Kincaid, so I was like, hey,
Yeah.
that's a huge
Yeah.
compliment. I'll
Yeah.
go with that. I'll run with it. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing that I loved was I done forgot. Oh, that's what it was. And the reason I asked you about the highlights on yours, how you
Uh-huh.
got the highlights on like the fenders and different parts of the truck, because I did not do, I didn't use white charcoal. I
Mhm.
didn't use variations of red. I mean, I used variations of red, but not in that way.
Mhm.
If you get the color right, and guys, I'm just pointing at the picture on the laptop. If you get the color right on the truck
Mhm.
where you want it, and then you know where that
All you have
curvature
to do
is,
is add shadow.
no,
What?
you take the colorless blender, fine point it, and you can
Oh,
sit there and run over that over and over and over, and it pulls the color out of the paper.
really?
Yes.
That is interesting.
Yes, that's why I asked that question on yours. Because all of that is colorless blender, except for where you see the very bright tones,
Mhm.
that is a jelly roll. But for the most part, that is putting the color on it and then taking the colorless blender and just going over and over and over it with the fine tip
Wow.
part just to highlight it enough because it leaves that residual ink in the paper, but you can pull some of it out.
That is impressive.
So you're not getting this harsh white
Right.
from the charcoal pencil. You're not getting the harsh white from the jelly roll. It still lends to that color factor being
Yeah.
there. So,
What how cool.
yeah,
How cool.
that's why I asked that question
Yeah.
because you're still I mean, we're both still learning how to use alcohol markers.
Mhm.
I just, for whatever reason, have been able to pick it up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I freaking love working with them. It is, it's quickly becoming one of my top favorite mediums to work with.
It's pretty neat. That's for
Um,
sure. They're man, they're for me they're something. They're a choice. Now, question here.
yeah.
What is charcoal and what is alcohol marker
What is charcoal? What is alcohol marker?
in your drawing?
Oh,
What is
okay.
charcoal?
So, believe it or not,
Mhm.
there is a ton of charcoal in this thing.
Mhm.
Anything that's black is charcoal.
Charcoal. Yeah. I
There's,
use that to my advantage as
there's,
well.
well, and I'll tell you why. Because I was afraid when you're drawing with charcoal or with alcohol markers, guys, they bleed
Mhm.
very badly. And I was so afraid of the black bleeding to a point where it
Yeah.
was uncontrollable. So like the detail the these particular drawings they required a lot of detail.
I was glad that we had charcoal as our mixed medium, our
Oh
mixed
yeah,
media for it.
because like I said, these drawings required a ton of detail. I
Mhm.
mean, it's the only way you're going to make this thing pop and look like something real.
Right.
And so by having the mixed medium, um, it allowed me to really just be able to punch in the blacks with charcoal. And you couldn't ask for a better medium to mix with it because charcoal is so dark.
Yeah.
So the lamppost is charcoal. The tires on the truck are charcoal. Um, any uh, deep dark lines or
Mhm.
highlights are charcoal. The shadowing underneath the eave of the barn, which I absolutely love, is
Yeah, I really
charcoal.
like that. You definitely accomplished a lot of depth
Um,
with that.
the trees in the background
Mhm.
where you see the two trees in color at the top at the side of the barn, but in
Mhm.
the background, it's
All
almost as if they're
charcoal.
there. Well, I went in with a gray alcohol marker
Mhm.
that was just slightly darker than the sky, okay? And I put that shape in there, and then I took the charcoal and I just faintly drew some lines in there. So
That's
you
cool.
you kind of see them, but it was able to capture the use of both
Right,
mediums.
right.
Um, so I was so ecstatic that that at first when it was charcoal and alcohol markers, it was like, oh, how's this gonna work?
Right, it was like, "Are we gonna ruin our alcohol markers if we do this?" We
Right.
were a little concerned, but
And I tell you what, after working with it, I was like, this is awesome. This
yeah.
is becoming like one of my top favorite
I
things to
think
do to work mixed medium with.
yeah, yeah, I think it was, really awesome to be able to mix the mediums with that
And
and
let me add this in there.
mhm,
Didn't mean to interrupt you,
you're good.
but I want to add this in there.
Uh-huh.
In what other normal way would you have ever got to alcohol markers and charcoal?
I never would have done it. Never ever.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it never would have been a choice of mine for sure.
And it would have never crossed your mind.
Yeah.
But doing what we're doing with these dice, it puts you in these situations where you have to do this stuff, and it is freaking insane
Yeah.
when we're rolling these dice, and it's like you roll mixed medium. Great. Now we got to roll two more times because we have to have two mediums that we're going to mix together. And you get these mediums, and it's like, oh boy.
Oh, right. There's always that question of how is this going to work? How can we make this work? You guys saw it best with our oil pastel and watercolor challenge. Those are two things that are not meant to coexist together.
No. And they turned out okay.
They turned out pretty cool.
Yeah.
They really did. At the end of the
Um,
day, it was pretty neat.
yeah, but it was nothing like this.
Correct.
This was something that you can really store in your back pocket because you're not going to be like, okay, I'm going to use oil pastels and watercolor ever
Ever
again.
again. Yeah.
But
Oil and water.
yeah,
Enough said.
but alcohol markers
And the
and
charcoal.
charcoal, dude, this should go on our paper as a singular set of mediums to work in.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
And because we're always looking at ways to add or change different things about our paper that we roll off of. So to me, this would be a good one that goes well together. That
I
we could add in
agree.
the future.
I definitely agree.
I know you don't like the alcohol markers much, but I just feel
I
like
don't
the
hate
more
them though,
right.
and the more that I use them, the more that I'm like, those really aren't too bad. I really loved them a lot in the Freddy Krueger challenge.
Yes.
Um, that was neat. That was
Yeah.
neat. But yeah, talking about the medium, let's get into like overcoming challenges that we had this week. Did you have any challenges in your drawing
Well, I mean,
specifically that we haven't really talked about yet?
specifically, I challenged with my trees.
The trees.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I said, I really looked at yours and tried to, understand and try to figure out how you created it. I just never could. I mean,
All you gotta do is ask.
yeah, but I mean, at
That's
a
our
certain,
collaboration.
yeah, but we were
Yeah.
both pressed for time.
We were
So
pressed for
when I
time.
wasn't pressed for,
That's
I mean,
true, and the
here's,
times that Adam did call me this week, I'm like, "Uh-huh. Uh-huh, yeah. Alright, well,
uh,
I gotta hop off here, I'll talk to you later."
yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, she's like straight up checking out. I'm like,
Right.
are we still doing this? I mean,
Of course.
are you still wanting to do this? Because, that was, we had a conversation about that one morning,
Mhm.
last week where we were just like, Jordan's like, okay, Adam, you're kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's like, I feel like you're just not in it. And I told her, I was like, Jordan, that is not the case whatsoever. I said, here, I said, you got to look at all the
Right.
different things that are going on. Um, you got to look at uh everything that's going on. I mean, it's not just one thing. It's so many different things that are taking my time away from this. And it's not that I don't want to do it. It's not that I can't do it. It's just I don't have the time to do it.
Right, exactly, exactly. And I think that I really saw that with my week after that was, for example, I kind of did rush through the beginning of my drawing to get what I could get done.
Mhm.
And I knew that I was gonna, need to take my sweet time with the alcohol markers because Jordan's still just baby stepping with this stuff. And so I did kind of rush through a little bit of my design phase. And then I got to a somewhat comfortable stopping point, and then knowing that we weren't going to be able to post last Wednesday,
Mhm.
I was like, okay, well, now I can focus on my week. And I did not have a second to work on it once my busy week started.
Well,
And this morning, I got up at 5 a.m. to finish my drawing.
and see, that was the thing is, although you may not have seen it at the time, I think it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And it's like I told Jordan, I'm like, just I just need some time
Mm-hmm.
to get all this stuff done. Because I can't stop doing this. I have too
Yeah.
much money vested into it.
Right.
Now look, we've got
Yeah.
we've got freaking $500 worth of equipment for
Right.
podcasting. Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
this for the long
Yeah.
haul.
I've transformed the bedroom of my house into an art studio, so it's
Yeah, it's
yeah.
pretty solidified.
Yeah.
So we're
If I
not.
were to quit, I think the Brie would be pretty darn disappointed with me as well.
Oh, dear, you don't want to know what my
I don't
wife
want to
would do.
know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
The spare bedroom's an art studio. You can't stay in there. So.
That's why we're not stopping.
Right.
Do we need a break every once in a while? Yeah, we're gonna have to have a
Yeah.
break, but
Yeah.
we're gonna be right back at it.
Yep.
So I didn't mean to kind of go off on that tangent there, but I wanted to
Sometimes life
I
happens.
wanted to reassure everybody we're in this for the long haul.
Yep.
Um,
And
and
hopefully people can, just get the picture. It's the holidays and
yeah,
yeah.
and trees
Yeah.
suck.
Yep.
Trees suck real bad.
Suck.
What about
Yeah.
yours? Did you have any medium challenges or anything? I mean,
Overall, just the alcohol markers.
Yeah.
A big challenge that I had was, lifting up my tape frame and seeing how much that bled around the outside. So then I just kind of thought, I'll just fill in this frame with the charcoal. Just add a little bit more to it, and I think that it turned out pretty decent.
Yeah. No, I really enjoy it. And
I do feel like it made some of it pop a little bit more, and I don't feel like it took away from the image at all.
no, I don't think so either. You
Um,
know,
One thing that was a challenge was the words "Merry Christmas."
that's because they're words.
That's because they're words, and you cannot get a sharp edge with alcohol markers. That's not happening.
No, that's why I was so pleased. Not that I knew about it at the time, but
Mm-hmm.
it turned out to be a blessing in disguise that this was a charcoal alcohol marker
Yeah.
challenge because you were able to use that black charcoal, that depth of the black charcoal to really
Right.
highlight details.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And you're not going to have it in the Merry Christmas because there's no sharp lines. I mean,
Exactly.
you're trying
Yeah.
to
They're
do
just
lettering.
yeah. So that was that's about the only medium challenges that I really really had.
Yeah, collaboration. We really didn't do much for collaboration. Why? Because
Yeah.
we were both busy to the gills.
Super super busy.
I
But
mean, it was just insane. So,
right.
um, I guess we can move into segment number 2.
Yeah, the out with
The
the old
old
and
and in
in
with
with
the
the
new.
new.
So,
Next week. This week.
yeah, this week, next week,
Mm-hmm.
the challenge is going to be a landscape done in impressionism.
And guess freaking what?
Yeah, it's going to be in a cool color palette with alcohol markers.
With alcohol markers.
We decided that we could still do alcohol markers since last week was,
The giveaway.
well, it's a
And mixed
giveaway
media.
and it was a mixed medium. So we felt like after a little bit of a discussion that we could probably still do alcohol markers, but after this week, we won't do them again for another 3 weeks. So,
Yeah. Thank God. Thank
um,
you, Lord.
so, Jordan's not too happy with alcohol markers,
But
I'm just,
I am happy with everything else.
right. She's happy with everything that I'm not
Yeah.
happy with,
If you guys saw our first impressionism challenge, it was awesome. That was an ink pen.
yeah.
And that was just so cool. The sea monster and the ship and the waves and everything. I mean, man, it was so
Frankenstein.
neat.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I think overall that's one of my favorite challenges ever. And I'm really looking forward to doing this impressionism landscape. I've got quite a few ideas bouncing off, and I know how kind of already with like how well I took off with that last style. I kind of have an idea of my roadmap that I'm going to put down and the direction of that stuff is going to go. But yeah, how are you feeling about it?
Um, love alcohol markers. Cool color palette, I think, is pretty cool. Impressionism, horrible.
It's going to be awesome.
No, it's not.
Well, you know what, Adam? I think that for you this time it is going to be awesome. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because you're going to be using alcohol markers and not 005 ink pens.
Now that could be. That could be, but I'm just, impressionism, I'm just not.
You did that impressionistic Frankenstein with a needle, essentially, okay?
Indeed
With
I
a
did.
needle.
Indeed I did.
Yeah.
So I just, I'm going to go into it with an open mind. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing I can do is just go into it with an open mind and see what happens. Aside from that, yeah, we'll see you guys on Wednesday when we vote for it, and hopefully they're cool. That's all I can say is hopefully they're cool.
I think they're going to be pretty neat, and it's going to be, something that we haven't shown people yet.
No, that's what I was getting to get at was, it's going to be landscape, so that's something we haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something there that we haven't done yet with some stuff that we have done, so it's going to be interesting to see how they come together.
Right. Maybe I will finally win an alcohol marker challenge. Sorry, I'm smelling toast. I think I'm having a stroke. I think maybe I'll redeem myself.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I'm not winning this challenge for sure.
There's no way. What are we at right now?
We're at currently... you are rolling with 63%. I'm at 37%.
And the night's still young.
The night's still young, but Adam.
And it's New Year's Eve, so we're going to be up till midnight. So, dude, I'm telling you right now, after the Cardinal thing, I'm not holding my breath on nothing.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how I felt. I wish I could remember specifically what challenge it was. It might be the Freddy Krueger one, but I truly can't remember. But I thought I had it in the bag, man. I was like, this done deal,
Oh, one other thing I'd like to note. Speaking of Freddy Krueger and challenge drawings, or theme week drawings and giveaways, Chris, we are going to be getting your thing to you. Your drawing of Vecna. We'll be getting that ordered and sent to you. It's just bear with us. Everything's kind of been chaotic with the holidays and stuff, and we didn't want to try to place an order during the holidays.
Right.
Because it's a pretty busy place. But, so yeah, just hang in there. It'll be getting out to you pretty soon.
With a fancy little sticker. Yeah.
So, what do you think? Got anything else you want to add?
I think we're all good here. On this one, well, really quick, we're also doing another giveaway. And what's special about our Christmas one is it is Christmas time. So we are going to frame it, and that's how we'll send it. We'll send it with a frame and how our beautiful prints have been coming out. And yeah.
What Jordan doesn't know is Jordan's going to help Adam build the frame.
Jordan's going to help Adam build the frame?
Yeah, because I'm not paying Impics to make a frame.
$100
pretty expensive. So we're going to...
all original.
Yes, everything will be original in your in this particular set of drawing. Also, it should be noted, whichever one wins will be our Christmas card for next year.
Yes, exactly. And that will be pretty cute.
Yep, I think it'll be awesome.
Looking forward to that.
So guys, don't forget, in order to win this, you must... What did they have to do, Jordan?
You have to vote and comment.
In order to be entered into the drawing.
Just vote and comment. That's what we're going to do for our future giveaways. So on future giveaways, whatever theme that is or something special that Parlor number 13 by J&A is doing, all you have to do is vote and comment. You don't have to share. You don't have to comment and tag people, all that certain crap. All you got to do is just vote and then tell us why you voted for that one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And if you just want to throw in there, I don't know. If you want to throw in a bunch of letters, I don't know.
Right,
maybe that counts. Maybe that counts. I don't know. We'll have to discuss that one. But yeah.
Just tell us why, because we are always thirsty for feedback. That's what we want. We want to know why. And I think that we really like that. Perfect example, the Cardinal Challenge. I personally asked people, why, when the hell would you choose mine over Adam's?
And it all come down to a freaking eyeball.
All came down to the eye. Yeah.
So, anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor number 13. where we discuss how we went head-to-head and put our creations up for your guys' vote. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Parlor Number 13, as well as Instagram and Talk Parlor Number 13 on YouTube. You can also find us on all of your popular podcast
Are you smelling toast?
I don't know. I'm not smelling anything right now.
Yeah. You can find us on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts. And choose your favorite artwork in the weeks to come. Keep the creativity flowing. Let your inspiration soar. Together we create, we inspire, and we transform art into a journey. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next challenge. And thank you so much wherever you're at.
Be safe.
Be safe. Carter, you gotta check this crap out. You gotta check this out.